WCLU news coverage of the 2022 primary election is brought to you in part by HVAC Services in Glasgow.
Started out just trying to get a job out of high school, trying to get my foot in the door, trying to get a career started.
We try to be a successful business for our employees and a long-term employment for our employees.
And with this type of trade, and especially with HVAC services, the opportunities are endless.
I don't think there's a better company anywhere in Kentucky.
Welcome to our program today, Mr. Mike Haynes. You are a Magistrate District 7 candidate here in Barren County. You'll be on the Republican ticket this May primary. Of course, we want to get to know you a little bit, but first, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Well, let's talk a little bit about why you're running in a moment, but first, let's talk about who you are. Just that way, constituents in District 7 can get an idea of who they might be led to vote for this May primary.
Okay, I've lived in Barren County all my life. I've lived in District 7 probably 25 years. I'm happily married for 41 years. I've got 3 children, 4 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchildren child.
Wow, very good.
But, and also I've worked at the same job for 42 years, and I've been in a leadership role there about 35 years. Also, I was in the Kentucky Army National Guard for 23 years, retired. 2 tours in Iraq. I guess that's about all.
Sure. Well, so that's a very good thing that you mentioned there about having served the country in that capacity, and now obviously seeking a position to perhaps serve the community.
Yes, sir.
When we talk about going into the position of a magistrate, there are a number of things we could talk about. But first, let's kind of defer to you. Why are you led to run for magistrate?
Well, I think my leadership roles that I've had over years, would help. I really don't know why, the magistrate's in there now is not running again, and but I think that I can help because I've been involved in like budgets where I work at, large number of budgets.
Right.
And a magistrate's got to do that. I mean, he's got to do the budgets for the help with the jail, the sheriff's department. But I think just because of my experience in leadership, I can really help.
Sure. Well, when we talk about leadership, certainly a magistrate is one of the leaders of the county, responsible for the budget, responsible for things that are going on, programs, involvement with the county. What do you feel like has been, beside COVID this last term, what do you feel like has been a big issue that you think will still bleed into the next term?
I really don't know what a big issue would be, but I mean, there's something going on because the other magistrates don't want to run again, But I think we got a lot of good candidates in the Republican ticket, and I think we can really help change some stuff.
Sure. What are some of the changes that you might hope to see?
They need to work together, and we don't need no more bickering between magistrates. I mean, the main thing, you've got to get along. You got to talk situations out. You may not agree with everything's going on, but you got to let that be known.
Right.
And you got to work for the people in your district.
Sure. District 7 specifically, when we talk about District 1 and District 7, those are both of the city districts, if you will, or they comprise the city limits here in Glasgow. Both of those districts there, the District 7 area is on the west side of the city, so it comprises some places you mentioned like Lexington Drive, those places there. What do you think in District 7, having lived there and just being involved in District 7, what are some observations you have about the district and some help the district might need?
I mean, a lot of people in the city really don't realize that the magistrate can help them. I mean, they depend on all the city doing everything. I mean, I don't know, you just got to make it well known that a magistrate can help people in the city just like they do in the county.
Right. District 7 magistrate obviously will be one of 7 magistrates and the county judge there on the fiscal court. We're in a very integral part. Perhaps you could look at it from the standpoint there may be a shift in the judgeship, and there's certainly going to be some turnover in the court because a number of magistrates are not running. Mr. Billy Houchins, of course, holding the office now in District 7. Moving forward, economic development's a big topic that we talk about a lot. There are people hired here locally that's their responsibility, but we see that government officials play a large role in that. You mentioned bickering to be an issue. That's certainly one thing that I think we all can agree on that we don't need because it just doesn't look good for our community.
Exactly.
What do you feel like for economic development or economic success in the future? What's something the community needs to head in a certain direction about that?
We need to get some more industry in this county. Like where I work at, we're doing a big expansion, and we're going to need a lot of employees. But I'm thinking, we got to get out and just get us some more industry here in Barren County.
Right. If you had 30 seconds or so to describe why someone ought to vote for you as the Republican candidate on the primary ticket, of course we can talk about the general too, but we're focusing on that primary ballot
Yes,
so
sir.
far. Why should someone vote for you, Mr. Mike Haynes?
Well, I've been in, just like I said earlier, I've been in a leadership role for 35 years. In the job I do, plus in the Kentucky Army National Guards. I was a sergeant first class when I retired. And I just think my leadership and able to get out and talk to people, because I'm also an auctioneer for Box Realty, and I've dealt with the public, and I just think that I can do a good job as magistrate of District 7.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you for participating today. Again, it's a very integral part of our democracy to hear from those who are running for office. And as you know, having served the country, it takes someone a lot of confidence really just to step up and say, hey, I want to run. But obviously we have to remember too that everyone's human on the side of the court. And obviously that's the goal of this interview, really for folks to get to know each candidate and you participated, and thank you for participating in this. And best of luck.
Thank you.